It's the IMO pod with 3 young kings, Sukali, DT and Uzi on this. In my opinion, we're the pod of the year. We mix the banter with the edutainment. Sukali, you know, be the girl them sugar. Don't talk DT, designate driver. Tumichi Susa, Uzi takes it too far. You never know how far you can go if you don't try. We and them boys, we're not cohesive. Money, money, money.
And Chicago is still top 3 with New York and LA. You know, Chicago, Illinois, Crook County, that's what we call it. It's Cook County. Like, it's a lot going on in Chicago. Like, it's a lot of money in Chicago.
That's a legendary city.
It really a beautiful city. A lot of beauty, architecture, all of that good stuff. But the South Side and the West Side they're just impoverished. Like, and it's no one that's really on the other side. You have people within the community that's trying to help. However, you know, until we really change our mindset, you know, so if we keep running around saying Chirac and treating it like we soldiers, you get what I'm saying, then that's what's going to happen. And then we on edge. We running around with PTSD. Shout out Herb. Like, we running around with that. You have Dirk can't escape, like, his mentality because everybody's dying around him. You get what I'm saying? Chief Keef's going to stay in LA. Because he started the wave and he got to stay living. Like,
he got a long time ago, didn't he?
Exactly. So it's a lot going on, but I just don't like the Chirac thing. And a lot of people, I'm into philanthropy, so I have a nonprofit. A lot of people that's really trying to essentially change Chicago, I just don't even play with that. So it's just like, no, it's not Chirac. It's Chicago.
No more Chirac.
Stand corrected.
Chicago.
No more Chirac.
Chicago. But we still drilling. We still drilling. You know that.
Stay dangerous.
Of course, I was around when it first started.
Okay, and what do you think of London drill? Have you heard it?
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Who do you like? What artist do you like? London drill.
Oh, what's his name? Russ.
Yeah, Russ.
I like Russ. It's a light skinned Javelli, Dutch Valley, Dutch. Like his production. I like his production. It's a few other people that I've seen and heard, but I just have always admired. What made me fall in love with London as a Black person was seeing how you guys embraced drill music. You know, so when you look at even New York, right? It started in Chicago. Don't ever get it twisted.
Yeah, 100%.
But New York took it to another level, right? And you know, hip hop was born in New York, so it was about their time to try to get the game back from the West Coast and the South. But even now, when you look at New York, you have the mayor trying to ban drill music. Like, you have them, like, using lyrics against people in court now. And going back to the Chirac thing, it's cringy to see all of it represented like that online, but that's also our truth. And we have the right to tell our story. And most of our stories are traumatic. It's trauma.
So just quick question, though, right, while we're on this, because I feel like we're mixing serious topic, right, with, obviously, but just... So with your experience, right, you think like the drill music, or do you think like rap music in general, along with drill as well, I think, do you think it has any impact in a negative way and a positive way on the whole, talking about the Chirac, the whole violence and stuff like that? Do you think it adds to that?
For sure. I think that everything is a yin and yang. You know, where there's good, there's going to be bad, right? I think with Black people, whether it's music, movies, our stories, that's why other cultures, they eat it up. And then they buy us, and then we can't buy ourselves back. Because what happens is their stories aren't entertaining. Like I said, we're the luxury, we're the story, we're the wave, we're really like the vibe, we're the trend all the time. Like, it don't matter where you place us. And that's why I'm so interested in the UK, because I feel like what's missing is that they have spread us out so far. In so many different countries, the African diaspora, they're banking on, we can't even connect with the people we stay on the same block. So you have 63rd beefing with 64th. To someone that's not from Chicago, it's like, how y'all beefing and y'all a block away? You beefing with people in your house.
Yeah,
I know it.
You got generational curses. You got a son not caring and never knew his father. You got a daughter that has a mama wound. Like, you have teachers not really doing their job. You have the police policing, but really not doing their job. So it's so much animosity. So they bank on, we'll never come together in close proximity. So there's no way in hell somebody from Chicago is going to get all the way over in London.
That's insane.
But yet here you are.
But here we are. So when you think of drill music went from Chicago to New York, right? When I saw it pop up in London, it was like, oh, let's get it. Like, let's get it.
I felt like it popped up in Chicago, then London, then New York took it back.
That's what
I
I've
felt.
heard. But see, I wasn't at the time that drill took off. I'm an alum of University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana.
Hey.
Okay.
Shout out
So
to that.
yes, Big Ten, predominantly white institution, right?
Wow, okay.
Largest public university in the United States. You're talking about 40,000 undergraduate students. That's not the graduate school. That's not the law school. Out of 40,000 students, less than 10% are black. Okay. Out of that 10% of the 40,000 that is black, 3 out of every 4. So yeah, I think 75% of them are on like a bridge program. So they're not there on merit.
Wow.
Right? I came in on an academic scholarship.
Wow.
Considering
You
it, yes, smart.
Come on.
Smart.
You can tell.
But that's also a Big Ten. So a lot of people that go there are there for the athletic department. We know black folks, black men are it's stock. You count them when it comes to that sports shit. So the black people that was there at U of I, either they were there as athletes or they were there on some type of bridge program, affirmative action. You didn't really, to them, deserve to be there, and they treated you like that. So my last year of college, I remember being with a homegirl and a homeboy, and he was like, let me show you something. And I know you're going to see this video, Drizzy, and I'm giving you your flowers. He said, let me show you something, because I used to work for the radio station at the campus.
Okay.
Right.
WBML Radio, where black music
So
lives.
you've been on this for a while.
I love my degrees are in media.
Dope.
So when he showed me the video, it was Don't Like. It was Don't Like.
Chief Keef.
It was Don't Like. And it's right when it took off. And when I tell you, that's how people in Chicago kick it. Like, no, people really in the kitchen. Like,
Kicking
it with their shirt off, playing music, smoking, drinking, like guns, not for each other, but you never know. Like, so to see that, I knew in that moment, knowing media, I'm studying the theory of communication and media, right? White people can teach us the theory, but they don't have the practicality of it because it's not your thing. It's our thing.
It's not their life, isn't it? They're not living
Exactly. So when it took off, it to me was like watching something like Chicago being put back. It almost was like the Bulls, like in the 90s. Like, I'm a 90s baby, 91. I remember being a little kid watching Jordan win a game, and people in the city of Chicago used to run out in the streets, get in their car, bang on the window. Like, it was like a big thing. Chicago has that vibration. So to watch Chief Keef take off, and then after Chief Keef, then you had Dirk, you had Reese. Yeah, you had Reese, but Dirk was something different. Like, Dirk was different. So for me, watching that, I never knew about London with drill music. So watching New York have it, I'm like, oh, damn. And then watching as social media progress, seeing it in London, I told someone that, like, oh, yeah, it went from Chicago to New York to London. And someone corrected me and was like, no, I think London had it before New York.
They took the beat. Because what we done was we changed up the beat, innit? The drum patterns. It was completely different from what it was in Chicago. So then New York took the sound, they took the beat, and then they put their own lingo on, and it just took off. We're like, what was it? Pop Smoke started that way, and it just went nuts.
UK producers.
And then going back when you're talking about, most of them had that's another thing as well. A lot of them New York, the producers are in the UK, because they literally, that's what it was. Because again, America's got that, you don't have the market compared to UK, so it's always going to go up over there. And,
but music is a vibration.
It
and like
though,
when you hear drill music, so when I was introduced to it recently with London, I love like the whole just essence of Black people in London. And like, I haven't been to South London yet, but I want to go. Like, because no, sincerely, I really want to go because I want to study, like I'm talking about PhD level. Like, I plan to write a book and do other things. But the reason why I want to come out here is because the things that I do in Chicago, I work with at-risk teenage youth that are first-generation college students that have entrepreneur endeavors or music endeavors or media endeavors, because it is a vibration. Like, so even London taking and switching out the beat, you guys know, being with African culture, that's how we communicate.
100%.
That's how we communicate. That's how we connect, like 100%. With each other, with ourselves, 100%. With the creator. So I believe with drill music, literally like a drill, like a drum, it just has a heartbeat that a lot of people feel. But people see the negative part of drill music, not knowing what that comes out of. So I would like, similar to the south side of Chicago, people talk about 63rd, but you ain't never been over there. Like, I remember growing up when 63rd was like a strip mall. Like, it was like businesses that was there. Like
right.
we used to bust the fire hydrant, kids would run out in it. Like it was a good time. Now you can't even go.
Oh wait, busting the fire hydrant, that's real. It's not just in
Yeah,
movies.
you bust the fire
I know the
hydrant.
kids is running outside and playing the water,
don't get in
all of that.
trouble?
That's sick.
No,
So how does it stop? How did the fire brigade have to come and...
Now I never saw how they busted it, so I'm gonna just say
It's just
maybe
always
a
been a bus
police
open already.
officer was nice and did it for us, but somebody probably busted it,
Okay.
and maybe the officers were nice enough to let the kids have a little bit of a good time because you're talking about a block where people will never get off of their block. Like it's
That's
people from
crazy.
Chicago that has never seen my university, and it's right in Illinois. Like
That's
it's your mindset. It's the limitations of it. So I do feel like, yeah, drill music to someone that does not understand looks bad. Or even for us, sometimes it's like, well, you know, they ain't have to say that. Or they ain't have to do that. But we also have to reach a level of understanding. And I think to hear it and to see it is one thing versus to be in it.
and live
Exactly.
So you see how you spoke about, you love the fact that London people being of African descent, you know, put their imprint on drill music. What's your take now on, you know, Afrobeats is taking the world? You know, you love Afrobeat. What's your favorite Afrobeat artist?
I
and
love it.
song?
So here's the thing, and this is what I also want to do better with just musicality because I enjoy music, sing, play piano, all that good stuff.
Okay.
My biggest thing with Afrobeats is what I love is I remember years ago, Afrobeats was like a thing where late night radio personalities would have their hour to do. Like you didn't really hear it on the main radio station during the day. You didn't hear an Afrobeat song or a segment in a normal club or a lit club hour. It was typically a day and it was like a Tuesday or a Monday. Like, so I think, and I don't know because I'm not in it, but I do believe mainstream artists that kind of picked it up. Like, kind of gave it the exposure.
The Chris Browns. And
that
the
it
early
needed.
ones,
That it needed and that it deserved. And I just think that all Black people, if you're a creative, I think that you should be allowed to create.
No, for real. But do you have any favorite songs? Any artists?
Ooh, I mean, I like Wizkid. I think
knew
the
she was gonna say that.
Let's
Wizkid.
go. Yes.
I think his artistry is amazing.
It's dope.
What's her name? Thames.
Yeah.
I think her pen is amazing.
She's cold.
I think that, you know, even with Drake and Future kind of taking her song and doing that, like, you know, I'm interested to see where she's gonna go.
Okay. So
Yeah.
those are your two
She's
artists.
dope.
Yeah.
She's
So
dope.
like you can see now, America's really embracing Africa at the moment. I see a lot of Americans
With the
going
Ghana,
back to Ghana and stuff like that.
Return.
But then there's also been a bit of issues. I see that there's an issue with African Americans and African diaspora. Can you speak on where do you sit on that fence? Like, do you think there is an issue, a disconnect? Because when I watch TikToks, like I watched a TikTok the other day and the woman was talking about, oh my gosh, when I went to Africa, I went to Ghana, my phone got stolen and, you know, some guy didn't give me my change back and all these things. Were like, why are you highlighting stuff that is normal, like happens everywhere? So I was just wondering, what's your take on this?
So I have a few friends that I met in college. They're Ghanaian. One, her parents just moved back to Ghana, so they bought a house. And then another one, I believe, one of her parents is opening up a library or a school or something. I will say, being in college, you know, was my first time being around Nigerian, Ghanaian culture. You know, it used to be.
The way you said it as well. You said it proper. You said it proper, innit? Yeah, I like that.
U of I had a program called ACA, the African Cultural Association, and they used to do like fashion shows and different things like that.
Oh, we had ACS.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and I love that.
It's
I
kinda
love
like-
that
yeah.
because I think it's not an issue of what I think. Right, as a Black American, I commend those of you that are first generation, you know, Americans, and your parents came from over there, because I know off of what I've seen with a lot of my friends and colleagues, that is a different type of pressure. What they say, the pressure is getting worse. Like that. That's different. Like, because then you're torn between the experience that your parents had and then the experience that you had, and then the obligation of what they think that you should do, and then you just having your own life. Like the customs, the culture is a lot more rigid, but I believe pressure makes diamonds, right? I believe iron sharpens iron. So I was just so grateful to be embraced by people that were Nigerian and Ghanaian. I've gotten a lot of money with a lot of men, because one thing I'm gonna say about them Nigerian men, y'all gonna get some money. Like y'all gonna get some money. Now y'all look crazy too, but y'all get to it though. Y'all get to it.
So what, you haven't come across any Ugandan men?
No, like when
I knew you was gonna go there.
I was like, no, and I was totally
You're her
ignorant
first.
to it. And I want you to know that your content was so influential because it's education. I think as Black people, we think the app is supposed to entertain us, but it's supposed to educate us as well.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know. Like, I mean, I know Africa is a continent, but I couldn't name all the countries in there. And of course, the white man is not going to teach me that because he taught me to forget that part of me. So I think the conversation needs to be the Black American, and you need to have a conversation where you teach me things and then you accept and acknowledge my ignorance and educate me. You get what I'm saying? Because what they're banking on systematically, what they did, they're banking on culturally. You still have a custom that says you're going to go to school, you're going to do this, you're going to go back home. So you really, in your culture, you don't have time to play with our culture because our culture look like it's playing all the damn time. You get what I'm saying? But idle time is a devil's playground
100%.
because we don't have, like, you get what I'm saying?
I feel like we don't try and put the time in as well, like what you're saying, to try and actually get to understand each other's culture and like, okay, now I need to educate these people because again, having that understanding that our people were taken over there, like our people were taken, you know, the disconnected from their heritage and their origin, and it's like, okay, cool. We are lucky in the UK. I think we all know, like you talk about it, first generation. Our parents are still from back home, so. Through that, we have a strong connection back home. I got a strong connection.
Sense of identity.
Right, that's what I'm saying, right? And then it's like, and I feel like to what you're saying is also our responsibility to then get these guys, so to then actually, and then even bring them, like educate and show them that, look, listen, because again, you can see how difficult and how crazy that can be, right? If you're growing up in America, don't know nothing else, like especially you talking about Chicago, right? Growing up in certain areas where you've never left your neighborhood, bro, and you're thinking, what, just gonna get up and travel to Uganda, or
no, they're still trying to get to Miami, like how you
they're
still trying to get to Miami, they're trying to get to LA, they're trying to get to New York, they're trying to get to Texas, because to have you know how many people don't have a passport in the U.S.?
Serious?
That's
Black folks that don't have a
crazy.
passport and can't get one.
And
because they already have records, or they don't know where their birth certificate is. They don't even have a proper identification card.
Wait.
These are real things.
Wait. Let's pause. So you're telling me, let's say you're brought up in America, your whole lineage, what? Yeah. If you have a record, you can't get a passport.
You can't get a passport. It's a long process. Like it's a process.
Really?
Yeah, the record thing is like, that's what I'm saying. America, they did a number. You get a record even for something that's just a pending case, right? So let's get into it.
That's crazy.
Let's role play. Baby mama drama, right? Okay. We have a kid together, right? We have some issues. Let's say we arguing because, you know, Black people, we theatrical, right? I love African culture too. The way how you guys talk, someone would think you're mad.
Yeah, but they're not.
But you're not mad at each other. We're just expressive.
You're quite passionate, to call it.
Exactly. So let's say I don't even call the police on you. You don't call the police. Somebody else call the police. They gotta lock somebody up. It's a domestic call, right? It's a domestic call, right?
Yeah.
Because of your African American experience with the police, depending on where we are demographically, you're on edge the same way you was on edge about jaywalking. So imagine if an armed police officer showed up because it was a domestic call. And we know that the breakdown of the Black man and the Black woman is so deteriorated because they know that if we come together, we can get back on top. So whether that's us not being able to properly communicate, you not being able to find a job, me not being properly educated, us not having emotional intelligence, having kids out of wedlock, impoverished, on welfare, it's all set up to where we'll never get together and we'll never come together.
Yeah.
Bingo. But we still trying to love each other. We thugging it out. We got to
try.
We'll get there.
You go to jail, right? You go to jail, right?
Because of you.
And you know that. So you go to jail. Right, now you have a pending case. Let's say we had a trip planned for your birthday, my birthday. You had already applied for your passport.
I see you look like going Cabo.
Say Cabo.
But now your passport is pending, or now they have a hold on it because you have a record. Let's say maybe you were somewhere that you had no business being with a friend, right? Like when you think of the culture and not snitching or riding for your homies or, you know, being gang, being down. You know, let's say you got into a little bit of trouble, right? If you don't know the right people or have the right funds to get it expunged, get it concealed, it's a lot of stuff that people don't even know. People don't even know they have warrants out. People riding around don't even know. And it sounds crazy, but this type of stuff
I see that in movies.
Happens. So now you have this record, like, you get what I'm saying? And now you can't travel. So let's even say, forget a personal Cabo trip. Let's say you found a job and they wanted to send you overseas. Let's say you wanted to study somewhere. You can't.
Mm.
You can't. You get what I'm saying?
That
So
system is
no, it's a
nuts.
lot of people
That
that's just
system
they're
is
stuck.
crazy. Because I know even though you talking about like Meek as well doing the reform as well. Yeah, shout him out. Yeah, like again, like because he was talking about when he went jail during that obviously his old situation, like meeting a lot of people in
Yeah,
jail.
for popping a willy.
Like yeah, right.
For popping
I
a
didn't
willy.
want to get into that one, but
With a
he just
black
talking-
judge.
Right.
With
That's another situation, right? Talking about meeting a lot of people in jail that have been sitting in jail for over a year. All because they've got a bond of like $100 or something stupid and they can't pay the bond and they're just sitting in jail just for something so little. It's crazy.
But it's life. Life is crazy. Life is a
That's
movie. Like when you
nuts.
watch movies, like that's someone's real life. It's people that sit in that Cook County. Shout out to the ones that's locked down. It's people at Cook County that's fighting cases. They've been there for years. Years. Because we understand that once they emancipated us, the new slave trade was for you to be in jail. Chain gang.
Yeah, we've watched 13th Amendment. That was a good documentary.
That's crazy.
Which gave insight to that whole situation of,
And that's what's going on in America.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
So back to the African diaspora and then the African Americans, right? We had a dilemma about a girl that got pregnant by an African guy. They weren't married, but he wanted her to name the kid his surname and a clan name. She wasn't having it. The comments were crazy. All the American women were like, listen, we're in America now.
It's so crazy, isn't it?
We're in America now. Like, yo, if he wanted the name, he should have married her. Da, 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 da. And then you had all the Africans on the other side. Like, at the end of the day, she knew his culture. She got with him. She had sex unprotected. Da, 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 da. I feel like the disconnect is there in the sense that we're like, you lot should want to know, to have a culture. But then a lot of African Americans are like, no, we American. We don't even want to be African.
They don't even
We're just
associate.
American.
They don't associate, yeah. Even though on the paper they said
that's
African,
good. That's
even though they said it right there on the forms, African, American.
But
They put African. Make sure they put African first. Like,
damn, y'all going deep. Okay, so the Black people don't want to be American. They want to be American when it counts and when it work in their favor. But they're and even a white American, even if they don't never say it, the system shows you still not American.
Exactly,
Okay, you're African American. They don't ever want you to forget it. Check one, the one that applies.
100%.
Like so for stuff that makes no sense. Why do you need
remind
to
you.
know what I am for a job?
Exactly.
And for this? Because it's another agenda that's
every
going
chance they
on.
get to remind you.
And they're
100%.
going to remind you.
Yeah, exactly.
But someone can't remind you of something that you already know. So if you know who you are, then I don't have to listen to that.
Yeah.
So going back to the girl, her having a baby out of wedlock, again, different strokes for different folks, do your thing. But what I know from African American culture in the States, it don't look good. First of all, it doesn't look good for women to have babies out of wedlock in general. To be honest, I'm old fashioned. It just it makes no sense because most of the time it doesn't work in your favor. And even those that are married, it still don't work in your favor. But at least you're protected.
You're married.
You get what I'm saying when you're married. But if you were a woman and then you had a kid and then you weren't married and then you named this kid, the woman's name is Jones.
Yeah, right.
Right? The man she had a baby with, his name is Jackson. She done named the baby Jones, right? That don't work out. She get with another man. She have another baby. This is real stuff we know that's going on. So now you got one girl, two baby daddies, right? Now you have two kids that's growing up in a household with two different names.
Two different names.
So now personally, they're trying to figure out, well, why don't we have mom's name, right? But American culture, even outside of African culture, it says that no, your kid should take the man's name. White men doing that, that's a custom thing. I think women, and I'm not saying this is the case with the girl, but what I've seen, women try to do like this feminist movement thing where they try to take customs that are patriarchal and they try to make it like a new thing. So it's like, I want my baby to have my name.
Which is your dad's name?
Bingo. And that's where it's just like, to me, I feel like surface level feminist movements and what they say is still deeply rooted in patriarchy, but you don't see it like that because you love your daddy. You may not love your baby daddy, but you love your daddy. Like, so you'll take your daddy's last name, but you don't want to give the same right to your kid. And then now you have school teachers judging your children because they're like, oh, they're siblings. Why they don't have the same last name?
Same names, same last names.
So it's deeply rooted. So she had a baby with a man out of wedlock. It was an African man. She did know his culture. I think that maybe she's a lot of bit in her ego. She's operating out of her ego. Because what it really is, and I'm going to call it like I see it, she really upset that she don't have the last name. So she don't want the baby to get the last name.
Because it's like a reminder, isn't it? It's a constant reminder of.
That's why I said
that-
she's operating in her ego. She's trying to punish the kid for a mistake that you made as an
that
adult.
you made as an adult.
Jeez, drop.
So if the name was that important for your kid, it should have been important for you.
I dropped my phone if I could afford
You
it.
might have to be a regular.
No, I'm
regular
telling you,
guest.
tell me that's not it.
You know,
though.
like-
No, it is.
You know, like a little regular update catch up. We
no,
need.
it is.
Anytime we get stuck about a situation, we just give her a quick phone call.
Yeah, I'll chime
Can
in.
you help
I'll
solve
chime
this
in,
mystery,
yes.
please?
No, but that's what it is.
No,
No,
I
you know
respect
that's what
it.
it is.
No, I
So
respect
people
it.
all in the
Dope.
comments,
Yeah.
people in the comments with their own personal
Yeah.
views. They don't have no man, they don't have no baby, ain't nobody trying to marry them. They don't like, so they're just hypothetically speaking, but it's rooted in she doesn't want to give that baby
Ego.
that name because
Ego.
9 times out of 10 I'm a woman. I'm telling you what I know.
Ego.
Like I'm human. Like so I have my days too. She's upset because you, like you said, she didn't get the ring. You're not married. And African men are getting married more than African American men. So why don't that African man want to marry you?
Louder.
Look in the mirror, by the way.
And tell me what you see.
For real.
So
Yeah, go on. Let me.
no,
get
I was
off.
gonna switch it up real quick because we're almost done soon, and I feel like we.
Bro,
should've
I
had
swear
longer
to you, I
time.
feel like.
I just wanted to see. Obviously, you being American, you've been in England your first time. What's the differences you've spotted between being American and being here?
Ooh.
So
You've landed us in trouble now. What kind of question is this?
No, let's hear it.
are we talking about
Yo.
like the UK in general or like Black UK?
Okay, let's start Black UK, and then we'll finish.
Then we'll
UK in
finish with
general.
Black
general,
UK, I really like that you guys, you're here, but you're not here. Like, I love that you guys, every
Ooh.
Black person that I've met that has been here is like, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ghana. Like, I'm
We
I'm
claim
going
it.
back home. Like, you claim it.
No one says I'm British.
Nah,
yeah, very rare. Yeah,
No, and I love that.
Nah, but it's all changed in recent times, though. I'm sure a lot
What
of
do you
people
mean?
were not really claiming African that much.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
a very good point.
100%.
That's a good point.
That is a
Only
very
in
good
recent times.
he's right.
Because when you talk
Trust
about
me.
us, like
We
okay,
suffered.
cool,
We
cool.
suffered when we
When you talk
first
about
came
us
to the
coming, because
UK.
obviously
We
I wasn't
suffered,
born
man.
here. I was born
I
in Nigeria.
suffered.
I was born in Nigeria. I think so was he.
I
I was
suffered.
born in Uganda.
He was born in Uganda as well. So I think back in the days, us coming up in school times, like we came
No
here
one was
secondary
getting
school.
British.
When we it was the Jamaicans. It was
Yeah.
mainly Caribbeans. It was mainly UK. So the black that you would have here would mainly be Caribbeans. They kind of run things here because they were here first.
But you know they're still Black, right?
I know
mean,
that.
No, I know that.
Trust me.
Some of them don't know that.
Watch
though.
where I'm going. Watch where I'm going with this. That's what I'm saying. So that's why what he's talking about, what Uzi's talking about, back in the days, us like in schools,
Yeah.
you can't say, oh, I'm Nigerian or I'm African.
You'd say you're Caribbean.
We all lie and
We
say
all
we're
say we're
Caribbean.
Jamaican.
Because even the Caribbeans, they're actually even the one. They would bully the Africans.
Yeah.
That, oh, you're fresh, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
African boy.
African
yeah.
boy. I used to be called ABC African Bum Scratcher.
See?
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, you
I
know
was
that.
called,
yeah,
what
that.
they call me? Chaku the Woodpecker.
It's nuts. Chaco the Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Dimity, bullet head.
Bullet head.
See.
See?
And you
It's
know
crazy.
they do that in America too, but you know even
Yeah.
that's because you guys you have that identity, right? So now they're
Right.
trying to tease you. But even if you know you don't know exactly where you're from in America, they're judging the little African boy, they're judging the little dark skinned girl, like because it all boils down to them stripping us of what we know about
What we know
ourselves.
about
So
ourselves,
now
yeah.
we're trying to tell each other who we are. You get what I'm saying? Because they're teasing you all year round, but then when it's Black History Month.
Oh.
They proud to be black.
Yeah.
Just for that month. Now understanding you're proud to be African.
Every month. Every day.
Every day.
No, but I thank God. I think because of the emergence of Afro beats and stuff,
Yeah,
it's
it's
now cool
changed
to
everything.
be African.
Just
It's
like
so cool
it
now.
wasn't cool to be black at some point, but now it became
cool.
cool.
It's a
in
cool
the,
thing now.
in the early 2000s to
Exactly.
be black because they can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
So that's
Crazy.
where I feel like
Yeah.
as Africans, you guys have a responsibility to make sure that you don't sell that to them and then you can't buy it back.
Come on.
Yeah.
So every Afro beats artist should be an independent artist. They should not be signing 360 deals. They should not. You don't need a label. You don't need to do that. You're
So
a
we can own our
pocket. You
stuff.
don't. Yes, like build the ecosystem.
But do you know what the problem is, though? I'm sorry. I'm like the one. I know we're trying to round off, but I need to. I'm trying to challenge something, right? There was a point you made earlier on, and I agree with it. Is the fact that listen, we dictate what's popping, basically,
sure.
right? We're the entertainment, we're everything, right? However, we allow ourselves to get pimped out.
Oh, all the time.
And the issue that facts
time.
though,
All the
we
time.
get pimped out. Like
Well,
what
why
you're
is that?
saying. No, what's what I'm saying to you. Like, imagine being the one. Anything we jump on, as a culture, it automatically becomes a hit. However, we are not the one capitalizing on it.
But why do you think that is?
No, I think. Do you know what the problem
I
is?
know why that is.
Shall I tell you why that is? In my humble opinion, what I've come to as to why that is, I feel like what they've done, which is a brilliant move.
Oh, that's why I said you gotta.
You have to clap for them because what they've done
They
is
did a number.
they've got gatekeepers. So what they've done is they've
That
got
control
in
the funds
individuals,
and things.
individual black people who they know can bend and fold to whatever their demand
It's giving
is,
Uncle Tom.
right? And they
It's
put
giving,
them.
it's
Sukali?
giving house
Yo,
niggas.
don't
It's
do
giving,
that.
that's
Don't
what
do
it
that.
is, though.
Yeah.
But it's giving
No, I'm talking to him
control the
about something.
others.
Yeah, exactly. My point. So what they then do is they set those people in the gate,
Sukali.
right? And now it's like you're thinking, bro. At the end of the day, what we should be automatically letting each other in, but nah, you're so mad because the black people that the gatekeepers, they're even more worse than the actual people that put them there.
You know
they
why,
go
though?
overboard. They go overboard.
But you know why, though? Because it goes back to what I said before, that affirmative action. See, in the U.S., you're taught that it can only be one. It can only be one of us.
See, there you go.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
so
that one
is
if,
me.
if at this Fortune 500 job, it could only be one of us,
One.
the token black girl,
One.
the token black boy. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Joke,
So then
man.
what happens is if they pick me to be the face, right, the representation, that thing of, oh, well, tell us your experience. When, yeah, I have a black experience, but I don't have the black
The
experience.
black experience, yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
they're banking on, they don't have time for the D.
No.
Like you should be happy they picked you. So they
That's
want you to tell you about
crazy.
you. And then they're going to use that to blanket the rest of us. So then when you make someone the blanket, they think that they can hold us in.
Everything.
Then you get the analogy
I
like
get it.
that. It's
That's
a power
nuts.
control because then this black person almost has an identity issue where you black on the outside, but like you have that
Yeah, yeah.
you have the resources. So really to
The coconut.
like
We call them
you
coconut.
think you think
Call
you're
them
we call them
coconut.
Oreos and
Oreos.
in
Yeah.
America. They think that they are now better when really, like you said, they're the worst.
They're the
They are
worst.
the
They're
worst.
the worst.
They're the worst, man. But I just wanted to get out.
Any other differences you've noticed? Black experiences?
You guys are just so proud, and I love that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to come here when Meghan Markle, got married.
Yeah.
Which shout out to her and her exit. Because and Lord rest Princess Diana's soul, because
Amen.
it's not a color
Ooh,
thing.
I like this.
It's
You
not
don't
a
really follow
color.
this.
Yeah, like
I
it's not
like
a
that. I
color
like
thing.
that.
It's a human thing. And I always tell people when they ask, like, what do? I do entrepreneurship. I do philanthropy. I do a whole bunch of things, but I'm human. I'm human. And a universal language will always be love and just being human. It's a vibration. Our nonverbals, our energy speaks before we speak. And we're going to listen to that energy before we listen to your mouth and your words. Like, so for me, looking at the wedding, I wanted to come because I felt like her being a black woman, rooted in colorism, she's still light-skinned. Her mother is dark-skinned with dreads.
She is.
Yep, she is.
Ironically, she don't know her daddy, but he the white man. So let's
Yeah,
explain that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
since we
yeah,
love to
yeah.
say that black men
Yeah.
don't care about their children. Like, you get what I'm saying? But it's a human thing because most people will say, rooted in patriarchy, that white man should have been at the top, right? White man, white
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, white woman, yeah.
But he's not.
But he's not. You get what I'm saying? So everyone has their individualized story. So when I
Yeah.
couldn't come for the wedding, I was so bummed out. But I was in a spiritual awakening and a transition of my own that I believe, like I said, my energy was here, but my body couldn't go until I got
go,
a
yeah.
lesson, I got aligned. So seeing the fireworks was an alignment.
That was an,
You know what I'm
it was the
saying?
right time.
Everything is in the
timing.
right timing. Like everything is a vibration and it's a timing. We just have to make sure we are on the same clock.
Yeah, we're in tune.
I love that.
We're in tune. I love that. I love that.
So, all right. What about any UK genuinely things that you noticed that are different?
I will say this, coming from, I have management experience in retail, luxury retail, Cartier and all those good places downtown
Sick.
Chicago.
Sick.
What I love about the UK, they're not pressed about designer and luxury. It's almost like an innate thing to them. The experience in retail is a lot less pushy. And I was expecting it to be the opposite. So if you go in a Gucci store in Chicago or in Atlanta,
Right.
they're treating you like you're a scum. And this is not just us as regular degulas. This is me going in there. That's why you see a lot of rappers say like we shouldn't support these brands because they really don't love us. But we know that black dollar, oh, it's big. But we don't put it in our own systems.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So we going to give it to the Asian culture, to the Jewish people, to the white people. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Listen, I was saying to these, I was literally trying to Uzi, like, bro, like this year, like I'm wearing clothes, brands from people that I know. That's what you're trying to do.
Bingo. And that's what
That's
I
what I'm doing
ultimately
now.
want to do with my business, Grandeur
No, that's
Rose.
it.
Like,
There
I
you
would love
go.
to have a showroom here in London.
That would be
That would be
great.
dope. You be
If you
that
need
look.
models, by the way.
Yeah,
Of
modeling.
course,
Yeah.
of course. Well, when you open your gifts, you'll see all of that.
Hey.
Yeah, so tag me and all that good
Of
stuff.
course.
But yeah, that's
That
the
is
only
dope.
difference. But like I said, I'm a human, so I believe God will never I don't betray God, so He's never going to betray me. Like, so
Amen.
100%.
I know He's always going to put good people around me as long as I
100.
stay good.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter if it's a white person, a black person, an old person, a young person, a rich person, a poor person. I haven't had a bad experience
Amen.
while I've been out here.
Amen.
I do
Amen.
too. I love that for me.
What about food? Have you tried any British food that you've never tried before?
Ooh. British food?
Yeah, fish and chips. You had fish and
I
chips?
did have fish and chips. I had it in
And-
Paris though. I
Oh,
had it
in-
in
oh,
Paris.
in Paris.
I had it in Paris. It was good. Honestly,
Have you
I
had anything
haven't.
new you haven't had before?
Yeah, where have you been eating then in
Yeah.
the UK? Where have you been
Like
eating?
at the hotels I've been staying at, the restaurants. Like I really wanted to go to like a real food place. Like
No, we gotta take it to
like
that one.
jerk
Jamaican. Yeah, we
or
gotta take
like-
a Jamaican cookie
yeah.
now.
When are you going back?
Oh, we'll talk about that off camera.
Okay. If we have time, we'll see.
Yeah,
if we
we'll
can
try
take
to
you
see
to
if
a
we can
real
take you
place.
somewhere. Yeah.
The conversation's been so dope, honestly.
I just want to
wish
make
we
one last
could-
statement though.
What
One last
you know
bit.
is enough.
I need to make one last
That's
statement. I don't
it.
care. These guys are sick. They hate me. I talk too much. But listen, I just want to say, look, as you can tell, we're open. We're here to reach out and teach. But you just gotta welcome us with open arms, Americans. That's all I just want to say. That's
Well,
all.
no, let me say this, and we'll end on this note. Commending you guys for your TikTok. I don't know if he told you, but I jumped in his DMs because I love the video of you telling that story. You know which story I'm talking
I know
about.
the story.
I really
Which one?
love
Say it.
that.
Say which one is it?
I'll let
Say
him tell it if he
Say
feels comfortable.
Wendy.
No. Are you talking
Is it
about
where they
when
sliced
I
your
got molested?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, no.
Because
Sorry,
I
That's not
don't know
funny.
if it's just
That's not funny.
but it's real though, and sometimes we laugh to
100%.
keep from crying. So like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that think it's funny,
No, I thought it was something else. I thought you were talking about something else.
It's okay.
yeah, no, but it's okay because it's not okay. And
Of
you
course,
speaking
yeah.
out, it's you know how many black men that I know in the US that think that's cute.
Yeah.
That think
yeah.
that, I was 11 and I slept with my 16, 17,
Yeah,
19-year-old
nah.
babysitter. Like, baby, you were a victim.
Yeah,
You were a victim. But because no one cares about men and
No
black
one cares
men,
about men, man. No.
and the same way they hypersexualize black women, you guys are hypersexualized as well.
Yep,
You
we
get what
are.
I'm saying? So at the end of the day, seeing that clip of you and you being honest and then you guys being so open, because he would have never said it if he didn't feel like it was a safe space. That's why I came, because I'm like, this is a safe space.
It's
Very
And we can
safe.
have a real conversation. And I believe that even if it's not your intention, the alignment is you guys are slowly but surely penetrating
Amen.
U.S. culture.
Ooh,
You know, our
amen.
biggest following is the US.
US is
The US.
crazy.
Almost 50%
You know what
of our
I'm
followers
saying
are
to you?
US.
We was
Happy
checking our
mommy.
stats. It
Yeah.
was crazy. We was
Americans,
confused.
they-
We didn't know
they
how.
follow us.
No, because
That's
all the
crazy.
all male podcasts in America, they're talking about women and submission. And what I love that you guys
we don't
are
do that.
talking about self.
Yeah.
We
You're
don't do
turning
that.
it
Yep.
back on self. So then the viewer is forced to have a mirror of their own.
There
I
you
love
go.
that. You
That's
see,
what we're-
you
Yes.
call it.
I
All right.
love
So
this.
before you go, then
I love this.
I want you to plug yourself and everything, but you got to
Okay.
do it in a British accent.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like
La,
that.
la, I'm sorry.
The best you could do. The best.
best you got to do.
I know a few Americans gonna slide in
I turned
somewhere.
my Siri into like a British voice.
Did you?
A couple of months ago? Because I'm like, maybe if I keep hearing it, I'll pick up on it. Oh, geez. Okay, can I say it? You say it, and then I try to repeat it.
Okay,
All right,
go
cool.
ahead,
Go.
ahead.
Boom.
Okay. Sincerely Cedrinna, Sentimental Value Podcast.
Sincerely Cedrinna, Sentimental Value Podcast.
Sincerely Cedrinna, Sentimental Value Podcast. Podcast.
Yeah.
Follow me on. Why do I sound? I feel like I sound African. follow me.
Go.
Okay,
Follow me.
Follow me.
Follow me.
On Instagram and TikTok.
And TikTok.
And TikTok at Sincerely Cedrinna. Make sure you follow my businesses. Shea Foundation, work with at-risk teenage youth that are first-generation college students. And Grandeur Rose, it is an all-luxury male accessory line.
See,
For the man them.
For the
Now
man
say, now
there.
say, oh shit.
Oh, shit.
There you go. That means thank you. In Yoruba.
I love that. I love that. And I've loved having you on. Thank you so much. I'll finish an American accent.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
obviously, we are boys here at In My Opinion podcast. You know, we're just chilling with Cedrinna. We just had a dope episode.
You sound English, bro.
We are. You're putting me off.
Can you
sound
sound like you're from
English.
Chicago?
You
Because
sound
maybe you
English.
should do a
I don't even know
Chicago.
Chicago accent. What does Chicago accent
Woody
sound?
Wool.
No, what up, G? What up, G?
What
What up, G? Yo, we at London Podcast Studios. Yeah, if you want to film your podcast, come down to London Podcast Studios. You can get 20% off if you use our.
I like that one.
That you
I like
really
that
sound
one. I like
Chicago
that
trying
one.
to do a
Yo,
plug.
I like that one.
You can get 20% off if you use our promo code IMO20. That's I am the letter O, then 20. Make sure you come down to London Podcast Studios. Listen with it, In My Opinion podcast. Follow, subscribe, share, like, and make sure y'all follow our girl here, Cedrinna, straight out of Chicago. Sincerely
Cedrinna,
Cedrinna,
straight out
Madam
of Chicago.
President.
Yes.
She can't leave without saying by the way.
Oh, what do I say?
By the way.
By the way. Oh my God.
Nah, man, we've had enjoyed the episode, guys.
Oh,
make sure you
man.
comment,
No,
let
I
us know what
enjoyed
you
it,
think.
man.
And
I was a great listener today. I learned a lot, you know.
till next week. Peace.
Peace.
Shout out Amaka, Andrea, and Obi. They're steady working, so we balling like Kobe.